Okay, it's Thursday night. It's cold. I mean, I got a jacket and like a heavy shirt on. And there's a light rain right now and a heavy wind. One thing you'll notice is the total lack of foot traffic because the street vendors understandably didn't show up tonight. Can you imagine that with this heavy wind and the light rain? I'm using actually 3 tripods tonight, 2 of which have already blown over and one looks like it's just about ready to go again now. It is freaking windy out here. Da feng, as they say. This is the first time I brought my own lighting. I got a light over there. I don't know if, let me know in the comments below if you think it's helpful for, night shots when I'm shooting at night. Although the whole rig over there is just flapping in the wind. But anyway, hopefully my equipment doesn't blow over again during the shot. So here we go. Hey, Winston Frederick Sterzel. That's what everybody's been waiting for, right? Another hey, Winston Frederick Sterzel. But hey, Chris, 50-cent Chapel. Yeah, I'm doing a double feature today. Can you imagine that? It's freaking awesome, right? Winston Frederick Sterzel and Chris, 50-cent Chapel. I'm making this video right now to call for a boycott on both of your channels, Winston Frederick Sterzel and Chris, 50-cent Chapel. Okay, why? Let me try to explain why would I call for a boycott on your YouTube channels, Winston Frederick Sterzel, and 50-cent Chris Chapel. Chris 50-cent Chapel, sorry. I mean, that's simple, Chris 50-cent Chapel. Like many people on YouTube, I am sick and tired of your whining, Chris 50-cent Chapel and Winston Frederick Sterzel. Both of you, I'm sick of it. You, Winston Frederick Sterzel, whine that you don't get as many views as you think you should. Hopefully nobody's gonna hit me here. And, oh, here comes the police. Here comes the police. And you, Chris 50-cent Chapel, cry about your videos not getting recommended. If some of your followers are watching Winston Frederick Sterzel, I hope they'll see this video and open their eyes. You too, Chris 50-cent Chapel. Maybe even join in the boycott or calling for a boycott of your channels. Hear me out, because, I think this is pretty solid, but anyway, let me go on. Recently, you anti-China YouTubers have been doing a lot of crying, Chris 50-cent Chapel. I appreciate the regular viewers on my channel watching this video and being tolerant, especially because I promised them I wouldn't do a wobbly video, and the wind might be doing that with my camera. If you can help share this video, let's get a boycott started. We're going to take a look at a few statistics right now, Winston Frederick Sterzel, and see if your followers still feel sorry for you. By the way, we're talking about this dismal economy over here. Look at this guy's car. How did he park there? How did he get out of his car? I don't know. Must got out of the passenger side. Anyway, you guys have made so many "this is the end" type videos recently, Chris 50-cent Chapel. I suspect even your followers have seen enough. You keep doubling and tripling down on stupid Winston Frederick Sterzel, which, let's be honest, it's pretty normal for you, Winston Frederick Sterzel, to double down on stupid. Just look at your The China Show from last weekend, Winston Frederick Sterzel. During that show, you doubled down on stupid. Again, Winston Frederick Sterzel. It's not the first time I caught you doing that. You're running the same theme that workers in China are burning down factories and power plants and warehouses, due to unpaid wages, right? For 6 months? Even though in my video from 1 week ago, I think it's maybe now it's 8 days, but it's like a week ago, Winston Frederick Sterzel. And the video is called Winston Frederick Sterzel's Stupidest Lie, Part 2. I pointed out the laws of arson and withholding salaries in China, which makes your claims BS. I'm not going to spell out what that says, but BS, Winston Frederick Sterzel and Chris 50-cent Chapel. So here you are, Winston Frederick Sterzel, and Chris, 50 Cent Chapel, doubling, tripling, and even talking about quadrupling down on stupid. Whining about views and your videos not showing up on YouTube homepages like you guys, are, it's your right, it should happen. You guys have earned that, right? That's right, this morning in a live show, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel, and Winston Frederick Sterzel, you talked about getting a bigger group of anti-China YouTubers together for another live stream on this topic. So that would be, what, quadrupling down on something you already tripled down on.
I know I've been seeing people in the chat say it would be great if we could get some of the other big anti-CCP YouTubers. Some people have mentioned David Jung.
Yeah.
What's her name? Lay's Real Talk. I've seen a little bit of that channel. So maybe one of these days we'll just have a big, massive, united front.
Maybe you should do the live stream in one of those kiddie pools so you can capture all the tears. Now, Winston Frederick Sterzel, I could actually go on about a few of the funnier things, the things at least that I found funny in the live stream this morning. Like you guys talking about not being funded. Chris, 50 Cent Chapel, come on. That is funny. You have to admit, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel. Or when you talked about not collaborating, Winston Frederick Sterzel, while doing a collaboration. I mean, come on, that's freaking hilarious. You're doing a collaboration, you go, oh, we don't actually collaborate.
Because there's this idea out there that somehow the China Show and China Uncensored, somehow we are part of the same organization, or somehow we collaborate.
But you know what? I'm not going to go there. By the way, isn't this your 5th collaboration, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel? Hey, I'm just saying. I want to get directly to the main reasons why your whining is so disgusting, Winston Frederick Sterzel.
Because it's a real thing. It's not made up. It's not a bunch of petty has-been YouTubers going like, oh no, we don't get views anymore. Yep. We literally went, great, millions of views, 70,000.
I hope there's at least a few of your followers from both of your channels watching this video, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel and Winston Frederick Sterzel. That would be nice. Let's start with this statistic. Did you know, Winston Frederick Sterzel, that if you compile every video on YouTube, you just add them all up, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel, the average number of views, if you add up all of the videos on YouTube and you divide them by the number of views on YouTube, the average is 5,868. Now, some of your viewers who are content creators, are trying to be content creators, Winston Frederick Sterzel, might say they never get that many views on their videos. So, I mean, how can that be true, right? How can that possibly be the average, 5,868? But keep in mind, that's the total number of views on YouTube divided by the total number of videos, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel. So, your viewers who've tried creating content in the past would likely say that. They'd likely say, you know what, how can that possibly be when I don't get that many views, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel? And it's true in most cases. That's because, Winston Frederick Sterzel, the median number of all views on YouTube is 35 views. Do you know what that means? The median, M-E-D-I-A-N, the median number of views? Meaning that half of all the videos on YouTube, if you take all the videos on YouTube, you cut it in half, they have 35 views or fewer, the bottom half, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel. That's not an average. It's simply a statement about the bottom 50% of videos on YouTube, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel. Actually, Winston Frederick Sterzel, a substantial number of videos on YouTube, almost 5%, almost 5%. So, you know, if you take these 5% out, I mean, they're really nothing. They have zero views. Almost 5% of videos on YouTube have 0 views. I mean, which is included in the videos with 35 or less, obviously, right? They're in the bottom half. Actually, less than 4% of videos on YouTube reach 10,000 views, Chris, 50 Cent Chapel. Anyone can look this next one up on Google, Winston Frederick Sterzel. the number of videos that get 100,000 views, Chris 50 Cent Chapel, is a mere 0.64% of all videos on YouTube. That's the number of videos that get 100,000 views. You heard me right, 0.64% of all videos on YouTube have over 100,000 views. Anyone can Google this, and you can basically get the same results. Let me know in the comments below if you find something different. Now, let's take a look at what you guys are whining about. Chris 50 Cent Chapel and Winston Frederick Sterzel, of course, using, there's a website called ytlarge.com, ytlarge.com, a YouTube data viewer, Chris 50 Cent Chapel. The average views per video on China Uncensored, which is your channel, which includes the earliest videos, which I assume, really don't have that many views. The average number of views on your videos on your channel is 246,648 views per video. How about you, Winston Frederick Sterzel? What do you think your average is, including your earliest videos that have very few? What do you think the average is on your videos, you think, including your earliest videos? You actually beat Chris 50 Cent Chapel with an average of 271,065 views per video, Winston Frederick Sterzel. So if less than 0.07% of videos make it to 100,000 views, Winston Frederick Sterzel, I'd say 0.2% is probably a generous guess for the number of videos on YouTube that get to 270,000 views. 0.2, Winston Frederick Sterzel. In my opinion, it is perfectly fine for you to cry your eyes out about not doing better, Winston Frederick Sterzel. And you, Chris 50 Cent Chapel. But, you should be doing the crying at home, behind closed doors. Not on a live stream, expecting sympathy, Chris 50 Cent Chapel. Especially from anyone out there who's a content creator. You're looking for sympathy from these people. A lot of your followers are, they wanted to be content creators, or they've tried, Winston Frederick Sterzel. How about your sidekick sitting there crying beside you, Winston Frederick Sterzel? What do you think is the average number of views on his channel, Winston Frederick Sterzel? It's 266,431 views per video on average since he started, Winston Frederick Sterzel, including, probably if you go back, he's got some videos with 10 or 15,000 or maybe less views, I don't know. You guys are really pathetic. So I'm calling for a boycott of your channels, Chris 50 Cent Chapel and Winston Frederick Sterzel and all your cohorts. I know Chris 50 Cent Chapel, you're related to 5 channels. Winston Frederick Sterzel, you're at least what, 3 channels, 3 or 4 channels you're related to? I hope people will share this video, Winston Frederick Sterzel. Maybe even some of your viewers, especially anyone struggling to get 100 views, 1,000 views, or just dreaming someday of getting 100,000 views, Chris 50 Cent Chapel and Winston Frederick Sterzel. And you guys sit there like you're entitled, complaining about not getting 1 million views per video, like you deserve that, right? I deserve this, I'm me. Boycott, 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 let's go. Alternatively, Winston Frederick Sterzel, you and Chris 50 Cent Chapel seem to forget that YouTube is a private business. It's not owned by the USA, the government of the United States. There is no guarantee of free speech. If you owned it, Chris 50 Cent Chapel, you could make the decisions and the rules. Instead, you and Winston Frederick Sterzel make a live stream complaining about the very platform you're streaming the live stream on. I really hope YouTube sees that and knocks you guys down a notch or 2, or maybe 3. That would be cool. So, Winston Frederick Sterzel and Chris 50 Cent Chapel, this is my advice to you guys. Stop crying, Or, you know, unless you go home and then close the door, then you can cry all you want. But stop crying in live streams. Start creating better content. And maybe, just maybe, you'll earn those views instead of whining for them. Until then, boycott away, folks. Let's go. Share this video. Let's go with the boycott. And remember, if you're ever feeling down, Winston Frederick Sterzel and Chris 50 Cent Chapel, about your views, just remember, at least you're not in the 5% of videos with 0 views, right? Silver linings, right?
No, we smear. We don't pick quarrels. We smear. We hate more. Yeah, we smear. We black.
That's actually a great. What is it
we
called?
black China. We smear China.